Alright, I'm going to redo this. I should have got more in depth with the different edibles that I do harvest from the woods. The fiddleheads. Where to find them and gather most wet lands, roadside dishes, when tops are still tightly curled. In early spring, only pick up to 8 inches tall. They're more flavorful. I leave 1 to 2 fiddleheads so the plant can continue its life cycle. Soak them in cold water to get the outer leaf layer off. You can them, boil them, or saute them. Nutritional levels with omega-3 and 6 essential fatty acids, high in antioxidants. Protection from cancers, inflammation, viral cough, and cold. Vitamins A, B, C, potassium, electrolytes, iron, copper, and more. The way that I find out about the fiddleheads, there's the papery leaf that I was talking about. It peels off really easily. You don't want this one because it's been hit by frost because of the dark coloration on it. You want something more to this. You notice the V in it, just like celery does. And it tastes similar to asparagus. Alright, this is the type of fern you do not want. It's fuzzy and it has multiple colors on the bottom. And there's no V running in the center of it. It is neat looking though. Alright guys, I'm going to show you easier ways to clean these as you go, because it'll make it a lot easier in the long run. Just go ahead, take your fingers and just smack them up a little. Just a couple more right here. See how the paper flying off them, and that's about as clean as they're gonna come. I've been out here for a few hours now. That's about as much as I got. Probably got about 4 pounds maybe. Oh, that's the downfall about doing that. You lose a fiddlehead once in a while, or they break off. As you see, I'm leaving one. Get down here, you can see them. Sometimes it's a little easier just sitting on the ground to do it. Except for when you get to stick up your shirt. You too. Get a little deeper. Feel free to. There are wasp nests that are active, and ground bees are active right now. A friend of mine just stepped in one. He's alright though. I've already checked on him. Okay, we're getting ready to boil the 3rd batch of fiddleheads. Just gonna add a little salt to it. They have to boil for 10 minutes when you get ready to can them. The salt takes the bitterness out. The bitterness don't bother me at all. And I'll show you how to can them. Hi guys. I just put 7.5 cups of water into this for my kosher dill recipe. And I need 3.5 cups of vinegar. As soon as I find my vinegar. There it is. And after you add this, you should make sure it all dissolves on the stove, preferably on medium heat, till it dissolves. There we are. I go through and I set all my lids on top of my jars first, and then I go and put the ring on them. It's just a lot easier for me. Sometimes you will have that. They're a little warm. Hand tighten them, not like Hercules. I'm avoiding that rusty one because it has to be thrown out. It's not good to can with rusty rings, lids, or jars. I've seen rusty canning jars from my experience of doing this. There we go. Go ahead and take these over to the canning kettle. This is the insert that I was telling you about. So that you can see, it weighs it down on one side. Try to balance them out. Make it a little bit easier for you. I've seen people put their canning jars in standing up and then laying some down on the top. I personally don't do that because once it starts boiling, I don't want it to break my jars. And you're still taking a chance on them breaking. That's why you check your canning jars to make sure that they have no cracks in them or anything like that. And if your jars are not hot enough, you put them on like that. The water will heat up your jars so you can put them back in. Alright, so I don't have enough water in the canning rack. And with a boiling water bath, you want to go ahead and make sure your water covers these lids. If you don't have enough water in there, I recommend going ahead and using hot water. That way it don't cool anything down. You guys can see I have a towel sitting on top of my washer. So the only fact that I cannot put hot canning jars on my table or my bar because it's polyed, and my jars will definitely stick to my bar, and I don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and cover these up and wait for them to boil. It's going to take 10 minutes for them to boil, roughly. And then once your boiling point starts, you want to go ahead and start timing it from that point on. So you're going to process these at a steady boil or a roiling boil for 10 minutes and then remove them.
Yeah, I see Brian had a big.
Okay, while I was waiting for the canner to get done, which these three have to be processed still, and I went ahead and cut up Japanese knotweed. I didn't blanch it this time because I gave my brother some and he said it didn't taste similar to rhubarb. So I'm just going to freeze it as is. Just make sure you got the air, as much air out of the bag as you can get. Or you can use your vacuum sealer, that works great too. Alright, it's done. 10 minutes is up. See the little bubbles coming from that jar. I don't know if you can or not. Step back and clear it. Camera got a little foggy. Alright, those little bubbles right there are releasing the air out of the jar, and that's what you want. I'm going to go ahead and take these out. Nice and slowly, as soon as I find my other nut. There it is. Nice and slow. Okay, when you are removing things from the canner, you do not want any cold air or air conditioner or fan running. If there's a cool breeze outside, you don't want that going on either. It will crack your jars from the heat that you just took them out of, and you'll have a big old mess. Alright, that's the boil you're looking for. So from here, you want to do it for 10 minutes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take these out of the holder for the canning kettle. You are going to need these, pretty much like giant tongs. I set them on my towel. Okay, when these jars cool enough, they will start popping. You see a little bit of the coloration from the fiddleheads in the canning jar, along with the dill that we used earlier. Alright, this is a stinging nettle. Stinging nettle looks similar to mint leaves with toothed margins and pointy tips, joining the somewhat square stem in pairs. But nettles have stinging hairs and no noticeable aroma, unlike mint. The stingers on the stinging nettle, if you brushed up against it, will irritate the skin and make it itch. If you're injured out in the woods, it will numb that area where the injury is. Nettles love disturbed, nutrient-rich soils. They aren't fussy about light, thriving in everything from sunshine to partial shade. Riverbanks, roadside ditches, outskirts of farmland. Ideally, you head out with long gloves and pair of pruners, but realistically, you may be barehanded and pruneless. Rinse and clean in water not only removes the dirt, but also lessens the stingers. When cooked, these stingers will not have the sting in it. Tastes similar to spinach. And full of nutrients. Is considered heart healthy. Nettles are perennials. Invasive in some areas. You are not in danger of over-harvesting them. This is watercress. Leaves are 1.5 to 6 inches long, deeply lobed. Lobes line up in pairs with long, ribbed, and single large lobes. At the end, watercress is a member of the mustard family. The watercress plant flowers have 4 petals. The flowers are white. Watercress is only as clean as the water it is near or in. If you wouldn't drink the water without boiling it or filtering it, then don't eat it. In order to eat it, boil it for 10 minutes to kill the harmful bacteria. Look for watercress in ditches, shallow ponds, and streams, and riverbanks. Watercress likes cool water. It is slow growing in the heat. Watercress hemlock is deadly and grows together sometimes. Water hemlock leaves are pointed and have a yellowish green color. The plant is taller. Water hemlock leaf vines stop between the pointed teeth rather than at the points. Vitamins, you have E, B6, vitamin K, A, C, calcium, and magnesium. Contains compounds that may prevent cancer, antioxidants, improve heart health, boost blood vessels health, may lower cholesterol. The Japanese knotweed. This is the old stock from last year. The way to identify it is emerges in the spring. The skin of the stalks are pale green with reddish spots. The leaves are completely shaped differently than bamboo. Many people may mistake Japanese knotweed for bamboo. Japanese knotweed grows 4 to 8 foot tall. Loves disturbed soil and rocky soil. It will grow in partial shade to full sun, likes urban areas, parks, and community gardens. Cut young, fat shoots a couple inches from the ground up to 1 foot tall. Health benefits. insulin control, heart disease, blood pressure, cancer management, nutrition, vitamins A and C, phosphorus, zinc, and potassium. This right here, you see the red spots on it, and it snaps off. Alright, this is all garlic mustard. This plant is a biennial. That means it takes 2 years for its life cycle to complete. The leaves have pointy toothed edges. The leaves have kidney to heart-shaped, partially shaded areas. The vines of the garlic mustard have a net pattern. When these leaves are crushed, it smells like garlic mustard. When it flowers, they have a similar look to broccoli heads. Garlic mustard likes disturbed soil, can be found in parks and the edges of wood lines, can be gathered from early spring through fall. Both leaves and roots are edible. Just pinch off the leaves. Roots can be dug up when ground. Instant frozen. Garlic mustard flowers in early spring to late spring. When the flowers bud appears, it is more flavorful. You can blanch leaves to freeze them. They can be used in stir fries, canned, and can be used as cooking spice. Has a peppery taste to it. Can be used in soups and potatoes. Excellent for controlling weight loss. Weight improves health to your heart, lowers cholesterol, thins the blood, may help prevent cancer, strengthens immune system, vitamins A, C, and B. Notice the net veins in it. If I can flatten it out. It almost looks like a heart. As you notice, it's starting to get its flowerets.